Hey everybody, I'm Monty Mont.
I'm Doda.
I'm Vinny.
I'm Nate the Great.
And the new James Bond No Time to Die trailer. We seen it. Guys, welcome in once again. Got the crew here, all right. Assembled a group of the We Seen It crew, and we are going to discuss, which is going to be I believe, the 25th James Bond film that is coming out. And this is going to be actor Daniel Craig's last go around, his last hurrah. Daniel Craig is the latest of the James Bonds. It's a recurring, rotating theme. Sean Connery, Roger Moore, all those things. So I had to be on this one since I'm old and a lot of these people on We Seen It crew are young and probably ain't seen maybe but one or two. I have not seen all of them, but I've seen a lot of them. So let's just cut right to it right now. Trailer drop. Guys, what we're also going to start doing, we got to think more ahead. This is my fault. What we're going to do from now on, we're not going to discuss a trailer that we do not see in real time. So when the next trailer that we talk about, we're gonna somehow watch it at the same time. Y'all see us watching it to get our real reaction. But all right, first reactions from everybody in order. What did you think about the trailer? Go ahead, go in order how we introduce.
Honestly, I'm really excited for this one. Kind of mixed emotions because Daniel is kind of done with being James Bond. But I'm actually really excited, especially because we have now a new character that they introduced. And so I'm excited to see how she plays into it. But yeah, I'm just overall excited.
Well, personally, I'm actually very excited to kind of get into the film more. The cast looks very interesting. I've seen a lot of them and other things. So I'm ready to see how they play in the movie. And yes, of course, it's very sad that this is Daniel's last, James Bond. And it just kind of gets me excited for the next couple of ones because I'm just trying to think like who else would be James Bond if not him. So yeah.
I am really excited too because I'm gonna be honest, I don't always know what's going on with the James Bond franchise and like what's going on in the movies, or I should say keeping up with the storyline, right? But I like James Bond movies because of the action. And I'm a huge spy fan. I mean, I watch things like Man from U.N.C.L.E., Kingsman, Mission Impossible. So anything with spy movies like that, I'm like a huge fan. And when I watched the trailer, I mean, it looks breathtaking. It looks spectacular. Some of the shots they had on there, I was like, this is going to be a good movie. And it seems like Daniel Craig is going to give his all during this movie. So I'm excited.
Yeah, of course, now this movie, because of pandemic stuff, has been pushed back. A lot of talk about it. And so I didn't really have, I guess, any expectations for the trailer. I was just like, well, all right. But when I watched it, I was very impressed. I said, wow, this looks like they're putting everything into this one for sure, because there is uncertainty with the next Bond, and we will get into that, who we think we should maybe some categories for that, who could maybe be the next Bond. But I think with Daniel Craig, and I believe, like I said, I'm pretty sure, let me make sure I got this right. I believe because the last Bond was Spectre, I believe.
I think so.
Spectre, right. So yeah, this is gonna be the 25th. So it's the 25th one. Daniel Craig's last one. So automatically, guys, they have the cast is heavy hitting. Daniel Craig is there. I mean, some of the regular ones, Ralph Fiennes is back, of course, is M, and Jeffrey Wright is Felix, some people like that. But then we got some new blood as well. Rami Malek. Those of you who don't know Mr. Robot, that's where I first saw him. Great show. Rami, he's great in this. He's kind of a weirdo. This is perfect, right up his alley right there. Great casting. My man Christoph Waltz is back. which is, I believe, a first for a Bond film to bring a bad guy back. I don't remember them doing that. Again, don't quote me if they hit the old Sean Connery one. I don't know for sure. And then we also, Leah Sado is Madeline Swan, and we have a new character, as I think Vinny alluded to, Lashana Lynch as Nomi, who is kind of another 00. So very, very excited. I mean, the trailer really got me. I was like, okay, I'm excited about this. Now, let's kind of get into Daniel Craig himself. Very good actor. He's done other things. Now, I don't know if you guys are going to be qualified for this, because again, you've maybe only seen half a James Bond movie. But it's not a Spider-Man thing here. It's not really as much controversy. We've already talked about the foolishness of Spider-Man. I don't want to keep beating that drum. But I'll say it for me. For me, Daniel Craig, he's not as good as Sean Connery. Sean Connery is my ultimate James Bond. But you could put him 2 or 3. He's excellent. He's excellent as James Bond. I don't know if y'all have any comments on that, because I don't know if y'all know any of the other James Bonds or not.
I don't know that many James Bonds. I've seen some of the old ones because I know that the James Bond franchise it's probably like one of the longest franchises out there. And I'm kind of that guy, kind of like, I know what's out there now, but I like going back in the past and seeing who else did it. And I know a little bit of the other James Bond, but if I'm being honest, I grew up with Daniel Craig's version of James Bond. Skyfall, Quantum of Solace, his other one, Spectre. So I'm really familiar with his character as James Bond, and I really like him as an actor too. And overall, I think the last movie I watched that he was in it like prominently was Knives Out, that whodunit movie, and I really loved his character as that detective trying to solve the case. And so I've always grew up with him as James Bond, and he's always just done his great part in that movie, in those movies. And yeah, I can't really give my opinion on who's a better James Bond because he's really the only one I really grew up with. So yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I did grow up with Daniel Craig. I'm aware of some of the other people who played as James Bond, like Timothy Dalton, who is in one of the newest DC series, and who else? Roger Moore. I'm familiar with him as well. So I'm familiar with them as actors in other movies, but not so much with the 007 franchise. So.
Yeah, I'd have to agree because when Daniel actually started working in the James Bond franchise, I was only like a year old. So I haven't really seen anyone else do James Bond. I do know that there are other great actors who I've seen in other movies, like Dakota had said, that have done James Bond, and I believe that was great. But I am more well known on Daniel Craig, so yeah, I can't really wait.
Well, that's fair. And again, y'all, that's why I'm on this show today, because we couldn't just have them do the show and got no context. But it is true. Daniel Craig is probably this generation and the generations before is James Bond. I mean, Nate, like you said, this is the longest running I know of movie series going, and it goes back to the 60s, I believe. So yeah, there's some people that I didn't remember, like when James Bond first started coming out. No, it was Pierce Brosnan. That's who I first remember. First time seeing. Who was another good one. And it kind of had a lull. And then when they brought Daniel Craig in, I remember people, it was kind of like when they said Robert Downey Jr. was going to be Iron Man. They were like, ooh, it was like, that guy,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
But then, plus, to me, the first one that that Daniel Craig was in is maybe still the best one. Casino Royale, I just feel like.
Oh man, yeah.
Yeah. So good. And so it really established him there. So, okay, I want to get to something within the trailer now. What I love, which is why this, again, as you all might know, I am a villain whisperer. Why am I a villain whisperer? Because again, I called Thanos knocking out. Matter of fact, hold on a second. Y'all talk for a second. Hold on.
I have no idea where he's going with this.
I called Thanos
What
in
is it?
Infinity War
As an action figure.
wipe out everybody. And I mean, not to wipe out everybody,
Okay.
but they put the over under at 7. I said, give me the over. I called it. So I know something about villains, y'all.
Mhm.
And as much as Marvel is above DC, we can argue about that later on. The thing that is kind of the saving grace with DC, especially for the Batman side, is the villains. Great villains.
Yes.
And so James Bond is been known to have really unique villains and all that. So again, as you said, Rami Malek is obviously a villain in this. I don't know what Christoph Waltz. Seems like he might be teaming up with James Bond from the trailer, but he looks weird. Like Rami's got some mask thing going on. I love like a weird villain. Don't just be crazy. Something wrong with you. You got a limp. You know, your tooth messed up, something, and he's already got the aura. What are we thinking, group, about the villain in this, Rami Malek? What you got from the trailer?
I'm super excited for his character, especially because him in the Robot series, honestly, I was like, yeah, he is a really good actor. I don't know what's going on with his face though, if he got burned or something, but that seems like an interesting storyline that they may get into, or history they may get into. The mask was kind of creepy. It was like broken or something. I don't know, but I'm just excited to see where they're going to go with his character.
Yes, I would have to agree. I've seen Rami Malek in a couple of things, and he is a very good actor. He knows what he's doing, and he knows how to play his role and really step into his role. So I'm really excited to see how he plays into this character, because I mean, he kind of has the look of like the weird, strange villain. It kind of fits his whole face. So I think he's gonna really play into this role well and be a very good villain.
I think he's going to be an excellent villain. I love Rami Malek as a person, like as an actor, I should say. I saw him in The Little Things. I saw him when he was in Night at the Museum. I didn't get to watch Bohemian Rhapsody, but just him when he takes up characters and takes up those roles, I don't know. He just like he kills it, and I don't know what it is about him, but he has like this. He's kind of weird. It's like his character, how he goes about doing things, his face is just he just embodies a character when he does it. I don't know. And so I didn't even know he was going to be in this movie until I watched the trailer. And anytime I see him in a movie, I'm like, it's going to be good. Like, I don't care what happens in the movie, because he's in it, he's going to make sure it's good. Now, he looks like the prominent villain in this movie. And considering the fact that this is Daniel Craig's last film, I don't think that James Bond is going to die, because they're not going to kill off a character like that. But I do want to say that he may be put out of commission and might go into retirement based off of what's going to happen in this movie. It seemed really serious, and the title is No Time to Die. And I just really feel like if this is his last film, the villain is going to do something where he's going to either cause him to retire, put him out of commission or something. So I'm excited to see where they go with this.
Yeah, well, okay, so that, and again, I have to concur. Rami Malek, kind of like Doda said, when I first saw Mr. Robot, I was just like, who is this dude? He is good, but kind of, I don't know how to feel about him. So I just expect him to give us the full Rami treatment. Now, I want to go next to this, because Nate, you're kind of alluding to it. This is his last go around. We already know that. We don't know who is going to be next. Okay, is there a ferret? What is that? There's something like
All right, keep going.
It's her cat, Phoenix.
What? Oh,
Welcome to the
I saw fur. I didn't know what I was looking at. Okay. I can't believe y'all have a cat. Like cat people. Don't y'all got to wait? Who
Yes.
Y'all got a cat?
I have a cat. His name is King Arthur. Yes.
That's a nice name.
I love him.
Why would we? You could just. Okay, that's another. We'll have to, next animal movie. We'll have to talk about cats and dogs. But anyway, so the Bond franchise, they're not gonna kill off 007. They don't, when they move on to a guy, it's like when they switch Aunt Viv's on Fresh Prince. They just act like nothing happened, and here's the guy again. So I think, it could be some finality maybe in the plot, but first of all, they make way too much money from these Bond movies to stop them.
Yeah, exactly.
But the thing that I like, here's what I like, and here's what I'm getting at. We just talked. If you watching this now, please go back. Part 1 from our Fast and Furious breakdown should be out. See, what I like about Bond is he's still doing Bond things. You can watch an old one. I mean, it ain't like Fast and Furious where, Bond was just a computer clerk and now all of a sudden he knows jujitsu. He always could do what he could do. It's like Fast and Furious. Now I don't know what to say about them Twilight movies y'all talked about. I don't know if the wolves got stronger. I don't know if that happens as well. Y'all have to tell me. But the thing that I like about the Bonds is that they stay within themselves. They got gadgets, got things like that, but he still stays Bond. That's how I feel. Now, I don't know, again, for trilogies or Lord of the Rings, whatever, if you guys have a comment on what you feel the progression of the Bond movies are. But I feel like it's excellent because to me, the character stays just within himself.
I actually agree because when it comes to James Bond, everyone knows, he's that spy. And at the end of every movie, he ends up getting the girl. And it's kind of like, that's who James Bond is. And he ends up winning and defeating the villain. I mean, that's who James Bond is. It stays in that realm. No matter who plays him, no matter what's going on in the movie, it's a James Bond film. And I kind of feel that way with Jason Bourne, which is kind of like another action spy movie type thing. When they switched off characters for a time being in the Bourne Legacy with Jeremy Renner instead of Matt Damon, they still knew where the direction was headed in terms of him being that character of Jason Bourne. So I like when franchises do that, even if they have to switch out characters with in My Wife and Kids, when they switch out the daughter, or in like you said, Fresh Prince, they still they didn't change too much where it was an entirely different show or entirely different movie. They still kept it in there. And when movies go from one thing to a whole nother thing, like the Fast and Furious franchise, it makes me feel some type of way because I'm like, we started over here, but now we're way over here, and this is two totally different things. So
yeah, I agree. I think that a lot of times with franchises like that, it's really hard to change things up without losing people. Like, I mean, I guess like with the times, how technology is changing or whatever is going on in the world, like you can kind of relate that to the movies in a sense. Because, I was watching something pertaining to the James Bond movies, and, they were saying how they like the consistency of the franchise, but how do you do it to where it's not going to be boring? Like, okay, we've seen this before. But how do you do it to where it's not like, okay, where are you guys going with this? This is way too far off track. I don't want to be seeing nothing random if I'm supposed to be watching a James Bond movie. So, yeah, I think that's kind of just my take on it.
Yeah, one thing that I can definitely say that I do enjoy about the James Bond films is that even though it is most of the time the same plot, they find different ways to change it and make the movie its own. So it keeps that consistency to where it's like, okay, well, I know he's going to get the girl, but it's going to happen in a different format. Whereas in movies like Fast and Furious, they try to change stuff up so much that it doesn't even look like the original. So I enjoy that it's still the same movie without being the same. I like how you can see different things, but know that the same thing is going to happen in a sense.
Yeah, I just think, and it makes it much more difficult to me because listen, if you're just gonna put two brothers on a car and send them up to space, well, doggone it. I mean, fine.
Right.
Great. Y'all topping yourselves, but it's so unrealistic.
Yeah.
They stay within themselves. I really even feel, even like the Mission Impossible series, which is something we will do at some point.
Oh yeah.
Tom Cruise, even Tom, they try to stay within themselves, but like Tom is always physically pushing it. Like he had to jump off a cliff one time. Now he got to jump off a plane. Now he's jumping off a helicopter onto a plane, or I should say this more so, which y'all might not know, but the Die Hard series. See, the Die Hard series, it was supposed to be just a regular guy, a regular cop, and some crazy things happen. And that's maybe what the first, second, third movie. But by them last Die Hards, now John McClane is flying a plane like a jet, And it is like, bro, this is not what,
Yeah.
you know. So props to the Bond franchise for, like you said, you know, someone said, like, it could be boring because we kind of know, you know, oh man, he's just gonna do the same. But it's always interesting and you look forward to it. So props to that. Okay, so we're about to wrap up, but we do have to address now. This is Daniel Craig, like we said, his last go around. And there have been some rumors about some actors. First of all, do you all have anybody you would like to see play the Bond? Is anybody jumping out at you before I kind of say who they might be leaning toward?
Yes, Lashana Lynch. There have been some speculations, and I would like to see her take on that role because since 1962, we've been dealing with a masculine role. We get it. Now we want to see the females. Okay, I'm sorry, but her role in Captain Marvel, I really enjoyed it. I'm sorry, it was one of the best Marvel movies. I really liked it. I would like to see her kind of take on that role, especially because they're saying because Amazon is taking over the 007 franchise, so they may turn it into a series rather than like a TV series rather than like movies, whatever. Either way, I kind of want to see her take it on, whether it's in the TV series or in the movies in general.
Very good call. Very good call. Anybody else? I'll say this. I think how Lashana performs in this movie is going to be very big. She is probably one of the candidates to get it, but it's like how she's received and how they pull it off. If they pull it off great, I think she's going to be in the driver's seat. And we're talking, again, this is going to be groundbreaking. This is a Black woman to be playing the James Bond role, which has always been played by a white guy, you know, and this is England, so you know tradition and all that stuff. I think it helps that she's British, but also now, you know, there are people that have been rumored, you know, Idris Elba was rumored. I didn't really think that was big because Idris is a little older, and I think like he can't be that much younger than Daniel Craig. And I think the next person they want to get a good 5-6 movies out of it. And so I always kind of was like, I mean, love Idris Elba, but I'm like, I don't know how many he can get into it.
I did see that too. And I don't know about it. I will say this: I did want to see a person of color play and take up that role. And there's a way they can do it, of course. I don't know about Idris Elba. I mean, I love him as an actor, but he is kind of older. Now the name I'm about to say, I don't think that he should play it, but it would just be nice to see a Black male play it. But when I saw Without Remorse with Michael B. Jordan, he's a really good actor when it comes to like spy movies and stuff. Again, I don't think that he should take on the mantle of James Bond, but it would be great to see a male or female Black actor play this character. I do want to see a person of color take on the mantle. That's what I'm going to say. I don't really care if it's a male or female. I just want to see a person of color, you know, so that'll be kind of cool to see.
Vinny, speak for the whole world. Are we ready for a person of color?
Yes.
Well, okay. Are you sure?
Yes, we are. I personally, I don't really care who does it, but it's like, okay, if it is going to be a person of color, I do have some people who I'd be like, oh yeah, I would want them to try and see how that goes. Like, what's his name? Kofi Siriboe. He's a new and upcoming actor. He's doing his thing, and I think he would be a very interesting pick for James Bond. I don't know if that may be a little too much for him, but I would enjoy seeing a person of color as James Bond, or really just anyone who can really just uphold it. I don't want it to be like it's an actor and actress and then they drop the film. So that's one of my main concerns.
I'm more so, they gotta have like, it's just a certain Bond quality. Yeah. First of all, I'm sorry, but I think you gotta be British. More so than of color, you have to be British. To me, you can't try to pull off a British accent. I think you gotta really be British, and I don't mind that. But this, you know, it's Black actors from, you know, Great Britain. You know, we could pull that off now. But see, now I said all that, but my candidate is actually white. It's Richard Madden. Now, Richard Madden, for my Game of Thrones people, is Robb Stark, which that's my guy. And he's also about to be in Eternals. He's going to be in the Eternals movies. He put it like this: if they picked him, I wouldn't be mad because I'm like, bro, great actor, amazing. But I like, and this thing is, I don't want a person of color just to say it's a person of color. I really feel like it could be a great thing forward. And so, we're gonna see how she does in the movie, and I think whatever the temperature is from people from that could lead forward to that. So, okay, anything else before we wrap up on this edition of We Seen It?
I don't know, but after watching the trailer, I forgot to see the release date. When does it actually come out, the movie? They
had it for October. Let me make sure I got it. It was October 8th. October 8th, yes. Okay. Well, and stuff been getting pushed back. So
that's true.
We will see, but they said October 8th. So we're gonna see, hopefully, would y'all go to the theaters for this?
Yes.
You will go to the theater for this?
Yes.
We're gonna
probably, yeah.
2 bootlegs in the theater. Got
possibly his last one.
2 bootlegs in the theater. Got it. Okay,
in the theater.
That is all for today. Very excited. I mean, again, trailers don't usually get me that hype, but I was like, "Whoa, this is looking good." Yeah. I'm excited for whatever Rami gonna do, acting a fool, I'm sure. So thank you again. Check us out. We Seen It, man. I said it before, I'm gonna say it again. You're probably at some point going to see this on its own channel, just because of so much content that we have coming. Mighty Sharp is, of course, the mothership, but we might have to spin this off because we just have so many things we'd like to talk about. So many people in the crew, other people outside the crew now asking me to be on the show, which, I'm not opposed to that. Everybody wants to talk about something. That's cool. That's why we're here. But so stay tuned for that. If you really like it, be ready to subscribe to the network, but then to that channel as well. All right. So as always, man, please, you know what to do. Be blessed. Stay sharp.